Menacing MTG here, and today we've got an energy deck. Most of the cards are from the Kaladesh set, and it's taken me a while to assemble this deck because it requires 7 or 8 rare cards and a ton of uncommon cards, all of which I didn't have. I had seen uh, a lot of these mechanics at play in a Legend VD video. Love him. He's a great YouTuber, perhaps the best. Um, and so I built this deck a little bit different than his, but I think very effective here. I think it's 7. Let's take a quick look. It's the Bristling Hydra is 3 of these, and then the Electrostatic Pummeler is 4 of these, so that's 7. I think that's it for. Oh, we do have one Crystalline Giant, so that's 8. But of course, I have a bunch of those, and that wasn't the problem. Secondary problem is a ton of these uncommon cards that you need. So, yeah. Anyway, so let's take a look at this deck. What happens with this deck is that you want to get the Electrostatic Pummeler on the board, although this is not by any means the only way that you win in this deck. This is a collective effort here. If you're not familiar with the energy piece of this set deck, it's these little icons that look like shields with lightning bolts in them. So you can pay these to make things happen. And in the Electrostatic Pummeler's case, where it's a 3-drop that's only a 1/1, you can pay 3 of the energy cubes, for lack of a better term, and you can double the pummeler's power. Now, it doesn't seem like much. He's only a 1/1, but there are a bunch of pump spells in this deck that make this huge. Now, you see that when the pummeler enters the board, you get 3. There's a lot of ways to get energy under your control, and so oftentimes you can pump this up to, say, a 4 or 5 or 8, hopefully with trample, and then you can multiply that by 3 or 4 by using the pay 3 and double its power. So let's take a quick look at how we get energy first of all. So we have 4 of these Attune with Aether, which is a great card. You get to search for a basic land, and you get 2 energy. Then we have the Longtusk Cub, which is a 2-drop 2/2, and when he attacks and does damage, then you get 2 energy cubes. You can also pay 2 energy cubes and give him a +1/+1 counter that's permanent. Servant of the Conduit is a 2-drop 2/2 as well. When he enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy, and you can pay 1 to add 1 mana of any color, which is a nice little feature because we only have 20 lands in this deck, which does seem like plenty, frankly. You might have to once in a while mulligan, but the most expensive creature is a 4-drop, and there's a lot of 2-drops and a lot of single-drop instants. So Voltaic Brawler, 2-drop, get 2 energy when it comes on, pay 1 energy, it gets trample and +1/+1 until end of turn. Excellent creature, 4 of those in here. 1 Mind Stone, and I'll get back to this. I'm actually going to skip over these enchantments. So then we have Bristling Hydra. 3 of these, powerful card, biggest, scariest creature in the deck at a glance. Pummeler is the more scary creature, in fact, but the Hydra is a good weapon. First of all, you get 3 energy when it comes on the board, and you can pay 3 to put a +1/+1 counter on the Hydra. That's permanent, and it gains hexproof until end of turn. So That makes it formidable. He's hard to remove. The pummeler, not so much. Not hard to remove. um, but yeah, this is a great card. So you can throw on something like Invigorated Rampage on the Hydra, make him an 8. Um, pay the 1, make him a 9. He's got trample. He's a 9 8. So I'm sorry, not a 9 8. He would be a 9 4 in that case. So yeah, formidable. All right, so now let's take a quick look at the instance that we have available. Built to Smash, 1 drop. 3 of these in the deck. Attacking creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. If it's an artifact creature, it gains trample until end of turn. Catch my drift? Electrostatic Pummeler. Okay, Blossoming Defense. This can be used offensively or defensively. You can protect your Pummeler or other cards with Hexproof and gaining 2/2 till end of turn. So you can see how that would be very effective. Next, we have 4 Harnessed Lightning, and these are fabulous. You get when it comes on the board, you get 3 energy. So if you don't have creatures to remove, throw them on, get the energy. If you got a pummeler on, he can use those energy. But you can pay 1 energy per toughness of a creature to destroy it. All right, so you don't have to attack with a creature. One doesn't attack another. You just pay energy equal to the amount of damage. So some good removal there, but also some good energy gain. Invigorated Rampage. Okay, 2 drop. Target creature gets +4/+0 and gains trample at the end of turn. You can also split that amongst 2 creatures. Long Tusk, again, can put 1/1 counters on and can generate energy. Been there. Okay, so last but not least is Collision Colossus. Okay, so you can take out a flyer that's wiping you out, or you can put +4/+2 on a creature till the end of turn and gain trample. Huge. Okay, so what do we got here for pump spells? 3, 6, 9, 11 pump spells in this deck. Okay. Additionally, Aether Hub is in here. It generates colorless mana. Unless you pay 1 energy, then it can generate a mana of any color. But it does put 1 energy on the board for you when it comes in. So now let's talk about these other players that we haven't mentioned here. We have a Mind Stone. It serves 2 purposes. Get you a mana on the board if you need it. So you want to get that Bristling Hydra on, or the Pummeler, so you've only got 2 land. But also it's card draw. Okay, and there is no card draw in this deck until my latest iteration of this deck, in which I added 4 artifacts. So this is one of them. Prophetic Prism. This enters the battlefield and you draw a card. It's a 2 drop, draws you a card. Probably worth the price right there. But then, as a backup plan, you can pay 1 mana and tap it and add any color of mana. So if you happen to be stuck exclusively with green mana, this gets you out of that bind. Lifecrafter's Bestiary. Now this is probably the best of the bunch. It is a 3 drop though, but it allows you to scry every upkeep, which has enormous value. But beyond that, whenever you cast a creature spell, you may pay 1 green mana if you do draw a card. Okay, this is a great card draw engine. And so there it is. 1 Crystalline Giant. And this is in here because you're not dependent upon having a certain mix of colors of mana. And it just is one of those things that really the opponent needs to attend to, or it gets out of control. You can gain flying, you can gain first strike, it can gain hexproof, it can gain vigilance, it can gain, did I say death touch, and so on and so on, lifelink. Um, yeah. So actually, in one of the games you're going to watch, it gets lifelink on it and holds off a much more powerful opponent to the point where they just finally give up. Um, yeah, great card. And then let's see. I think that's the whole nine. We've talked about everything. Let's take a quick look at the land. Um, 5 mountains, 7 forest. Primary reason we have more forests is because we have the attune. We want to be able to use that early. Um, Crag Crown pathway, either color. Rootbound Crag comes on untapped if you got a mountain or a forest on the board already. 3 stomping grounds, bring it on tapped, or if you need it fast, pay 2 life. And 2 Aether Hub, as I said, gives you a little boost in the energy department. So kind of a wild deck to play. I'd never seen energy in action. Um, and I had to have it. So it took me a long time to assemble this deck. Really, it's been like about a month as you know, pumping out tons of decks and having to obtain cards for them. Just having this kind of on the back burner, but slowly building this up. So I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe to the channel and watch these wild games with big wins. Okay, have a great day. All right, we have a good hand here. We have a ton of mana going on here, so we'll get the attune up and at it, and I think we'll go with green. And we get a couple of energy. Get the cub up right away. All right, here, and I think we're just going to go right away for the pummeler. Going with the cub, and we'll be up to 7 energy, which is getting dangerous for the opponent here. We'll get 2 more when we bring the brawler on. Okay, they're building here, so we want to take care of business very quickly here. Okay, we're just going to toss up Stomping Ground, and we'll let it come in tapped. Bring up the brawler. Throw another attune up, so we now have 11 energy cubes, and we'll increase that when Long Tusk comes in. Okay, 13 energy cubes, so that means that the pummeler can 4 times his life, or double it 4 times as of next turn. So the game, unless they can remove stuff here, I think you're going to see the pummeler end this game. As we have 1 instant to play on it, but it brings it up to 4, which will make it a 5-1. And then we times that by 4, or double it 4 times. It's going to be enormous. It'd be lovely to see this go off. We got a opponent who is playing slowly here, so I apologize for that. And I think we can win multiple ways here, as both the cub and the brawler can pump themselves up. Sorry about the delay here. And they're just passing the turn, and they're probably not going to let me get this off here, but we're going to try. Yeah, we have an opponent that just is unresponsive. I'm going to pause this and, well, I won't. I guess it'll just end in a second here. Either they'll play something late here or not. This is annoying, but you know, it could be an emergency or who knows what's going on, but it's a bummer. That's the end of the game. Oh, I'll get to send it off. That's nice. A decline on that, but we'll throw up the instant on this. Then we'll just go ahead and activate. Even if he doesn't come in and let me attack here. You get the idea. Coming in with 80 right there. Just with Pummeler. There it is. Okay, we didn't have an opponent, but you got to see the mechanics of that, so I'm happy for that. There'd be no stopping that without removal. Alright, I like this hand as well. And I go first, so very fortunate. Again, we have lots of tools we can use right away here. We do have a Death Touch, which is a bummer. So we're going to go ahead and I think we'll throw the Brawler up here. Get us a couple energy. I think I'm going to strive to get the Hydra on as well here. Okay, we got a ton of energy pickup here, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and pump up with lands here. And we're just going to stop right there, no attacks. Okay. Meanwhile, the opponent is building a bit of a thing. Alright, so we'll throw up the Pummeler and we'll throw up another platoon, just building up the energy we have here. We have another Pummeler, so we do have only one pump spell. And I think I'll come in with the Brawler and we'll pump him. So we get to do a little damage with some trample. See if we get a block out of the Viper. We will. So we'll lose the Brawler, but we'll do 3 damage and get rid of the Viper. And we can bring in the Bristling Hydra next turn for a couple of reasons. One is as a distraction, because it's a scary card. It looks scarier than the Pummeler, and gives us a little more time to wait for one more pump spell. Okay, we're not having great luck here. We'll bring up the Hydra. And right now, I could go in with the Pummeler for, let's see, oh no, I'm 1 mana short, okay. Alright, well, let's just take one step at a time here, no attacks. We do have a boatload of energy going. Next turn, we could, if we don't get a pump spell, we could bring on the second Pummeler. We need to get moving as they have the Kraken out here. They're probably going to draw a card somehow. There they are. So the Kraken's getting big. I do think we'll be able to pump up the pummeler pretty significantly next turn. I feel like we've got to make something happen here quickly. So we're going to bring on the pummeler. Solely, really, for building up the... and let's see what we got here. We're going to come with these two. We're going to throw a +4 on the pummeler. And we're going to bump the pummeler. We're going to bump the Hydra. And we can still bump more here. Okay, so we've got, I believe we have Fatal here, and the Hydra will live, and that should be Fatal. They might just survive barely here. Just waiting on the opponent. We've got some tough decisions here. Coming in with 26, which is 9 more than we need. They have 8 blocking power. We don't have Trample on a Hydra is the problem, so they can survive this turn, but it's going to require losing their Kraken and everything they got except for the one tapped Cloudkin, and they're practically going to be done at that point. It's going to be very close. They can block the Hydra with the single tentacle token, and then they have they can deflect. Well, they don't need to lose the other Cloudkin either, but they're going to need to use the Kraken to block the pummeler. And they're just going to delay and delay here. I'm sorry. Okay, they're just going to let us go to it, and there's the victory. Okay, we got a good hand here. We'll keep this hand. We'll use the Attune to generate a little bit of energy and get me a red land. All right, we'll bring on Rootbound and the Long Tusk with hope that it will be able to attack next turn and generate some energy. Okay, I think we're just going to try to get the pummeler on here right away, or this is such a good card though. I think we got to just look towards the mid game here a little bit. I don't think we'll get a block, so this should get us some energy, and I think that's better in the long run. Okay, excellent. Okay, that's tough. So I guess we'll be looking at Vampire here. Yeah. So that gives them a blocker, and he's going to attack with it, which I think is absolutely foolish. That's going to give us the ability to bump our energy up even more, and so we're getting a scry here. We don't need the land. I don't think at this point we'll ditch it. Yeah, we are getting pummeled with land, in fact. So we're going to get the pummeler on, and that's going to get us a card draw, which is great. Okay, there's a pump spell, so that worked out beautifully, and we'll come in and we'll get our energy up to 9, which allows us to double Pummeler's power 3 times at this point. Oh, and we're going to have to get something going here because the vampires are getting big. And they're going to bring on something that's somewhat weighty, and it's going to be huge with the 2+1/+1 counters. Alright, I like that a lot. We're going to take the opponent's creature right out. We want that for sure. So now, well, we can do a whole lot here this turn. As a matter of fact, I think we can end the game. Well, maybe not end the game, but very close. I think what's best to do here is bring out the Brawler. And this is really going very well. Now we're going to kill the Vampire. We are going to have to use 4 of our cubes, but we got 3, so... And we're going to lose a life and they're going to gain a life. And we're just going to come on in. Nothing fancy. Get some more energy, and next turn, at the very least, we can get Electro on the board. Well, problem is the lack of trample. So we'll just hope for something with trample here. And we may be able to do enough damage with the collective group here. See if they have anything else to bring on. I'm guessing no. Okay, we don't want that. Alright, we didn't want that either. So we're going to just let this come on tapped. Bring on the Brawler. We will pay. We do not get Pump Spell. Bring on the Servant. We have a ton of pop here, and I think what we're going to do is come in with these 2. And we will pump him up. And he may block the Long Tusk here. But we'll kill him. We are going to use some of our energy, but that is great because he's empty. He's got nothing on the board, and we're pretty well stocked. Any one of the red pump spells with trample ends the game here. We got several of them. They still have 3 mana. And looks like they're going to bring on another one of those. So 2 4/4s. Pretty sturdy. But they're in trouble. They only have 10 life, so I'm hoping to end this game here one way or another. And we definitely don't want the land. Thank goodness for that scry. We'd have a million lands. Okay, we got exactly what I needed, so the game is over. We're going to attack with everything. And we're going to decline all that because we need to put this on the pummeler and then just blow him up. He's got trample. This is going to be impressive here. There it is, folks. He wasn't patient and didn't let us come in, but that would have been outrageous, as I was going to come in for 53 and 8, 61 damage. Okay, so there's the deck. I hope you liked it. It's very fun. I really enjoy playing this deck. Key card here, key addition. You could might even go with 2 of those. I mean, just the card draw is incredible. What we ditch, we'd have to look closely at, but maybe like the Voltaic Brawler here. Voltaic Brawler might be able to ditch one of those, maybe one of these. We have 4 of each of those, so one of those could go, bring in another one of these. I think that's the way to travel here. Although we're light on creatures, I don't know. And I don't know, maybe ditch the other card draw item. Maybe keep the creatures and get rid of the other artifact that draws 1 card. Doesn't do much else. So that might be the thing to do. This is proven to be excellent. Okay, again, have a great day. Please consider subscribing.